And the psychosocial factor.
Yes, our team, it's a psychosocial support team, and our team are very positive.
In a moving and private engagement that underscores the United Kingdom's ongoing humanitarian response to the conflict in Gaza, His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, today spent the afternoon with a group of critically ill children who have been evacuated to receive life-saving medical treatment within the National Health Service. The visit, conducted at a specialist pediatric facility, whose location is being withheld for the privacy and security of the patients, saw the Prince meet with several children and their accompanying family members. Kensington Palace emphasized that the visit was held at the Prince's direct request, reflecting his personal desire to witness the work of the NHS in this complex arena, and to offer his support to families at the center of an unimaginable crisis. A senior palace aide, briefing reporters after the engagement, provided a detailed account. His Royal Highness was profoundly humbled by the resilience he witnessed today, the aide began, their tone reflective. He spent time with each family, listening to their stories through interpreters. He heard tales of harrowing journeys, of loss, but also of immense courage. The Prince was particularly struck by the quiet determination of the parents and the flickers of hope in the children's eyes, despite the pain and trauma they have endured. He wished to offer a moment of quiet reassurance, a gesture of solidarity to families who have been forced to bear the unbearable. The children represent the most recent arrivals in a meticulously coordinated, cross-government effort involving the Department of Health and Social Care, the Foreign Office, and leading international aid partners. The program, which saw its first successful transfers in the spring of this year, was significantly scaled up throughout the autumn, navigating a complex logistical and diplomatic landscape to facilitate the evacuations. A statement from the Department of Health and Social Care provided further context. To date, our teams have successfully brought over 50 critically ill pediatric patients, along with their immediate family members, to the United Kingdom. This represents a significant and targeted humanitarian intervention, focused on those for whom the necessary care is simply unavailable in the region due to the devastating impact of the conflict on medical infrastructure. The statement continued, underscoring the government's position. The safety, dignity, and well-being of these patients and their families is our utmost priority. They are now in surroundings that are not only safe and welcoming, but are also equipped with the world-class medical expertise and technology necessary for their complex recoveries. Our commitment to providing health-related support to the people of Gaza remains steadfast. We continue to work tirelessly with our partners to ensure sustained humanitarian access so that essential medicines, medical supplies, and fuel can reach those civilians who remain in Gaza, enabling them to access the most basic health care they so desperately need. The Prince's engagement today was not an isolated event, but rather a continuation of his documented interest in the plight of displaced persons and the individuals who aid them. In 2018, he became the first senior member of the royal family to make an official visit to a Palestinian refugee camp in the West Bank, a trip that provided him with a foundational understanding of the region's challenges. More recently, just a few months ago, the Prince delivered a powerful address at the unveiling of the first global memorial for humanitarian workers in Gunnersbury Park, West London. His words from that day resonated powerfully in the context of today's visit. We are witnesses to the appalling suffering of those who are victims of war and violence, from Ukraine to Sudan, from Myanmar to Haiti, and indeed throughout much of the Middle East, he had stated, his voice grave. Yet the presence of humanitarian aid workers, like those in Gaza, runs like a thread of shared humanity through even the grimmest of environments. That thread of shared humanity was visibly present within the hospital ward today. It was embodied not only by the royal visitor, but by the NHS consultants, nurses, physiotherapists, and interpreters who formed the dedicated team around each child. The Prince was given a detailed briefing by the lead consultant, who outlined the specific medical conditions being treated, ranging from complex war injuries and severe burns to life-threatening chronic illnesses exacerbated by the collapse of routine healthcare. Professor Alisha Khan, the lead pediatric consultant overseeing the care program, spoke briefly after the prince's departure. "It was an honor to showcase the work of our multidisciplinary team to His Royal Highness. The families we are caring for have been through immense trauma, and their strength is extraordinary. Our focus is not just on surgical and medical intervention, but on providing holistic, wraparound care that addresses their profound psychological needs as well." The prince's visit, his willingness to listen and to offer quiet words of comfort, was a moment of significant morale for both our staff and the families. It sends a powerful message that these children are seen and that their lives matter. Today's visit, therefore, served as a poignant and powerful nexus of high-level policy, royal diplomacy, and raw human experience. It connected the corridors of Whitehall and the stately rooms of Kensington Palace with the sterile yet hopeful environment of a hospital room. In doing so, the Prince of Wales not only highlighted the UK's concrete humanitarian actions, but also personally embodied the nation's broader commitment to offering sanctuary, expert care, and a measure of hope to some of the most vulnerable victims of a devastating conflict. The image of a future king taking the time to sit at the bedside of a recovering child provides a profound human counterpoint to the often abstract discourse of international aid, reminding the nation of the individual lives being rebuilt, one careful treatment at a time.